The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. You landed here and it's no mistake. You best believe this could be your break. Rub-a-dub-dub, check out the hubs inside. A winning team is here to be your guide. Oh, my friend, you've been looking for a brand new day. I got good news, only a click away. You can click on any hub, 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 hub. You are sure to feel the love, 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 love. Got some stories in my book, hope you'll take the time and look. The message in this simple read: teens, young adults, help them succeed. Scroll on down, got more to say. Go blogs, let's take it away. And if you choose not to do a thing that will ever cause me not to win, when you know your worth, no need to beg. Selling with no pressure is more fun. Instead, financial freedom has been calling you. Come join a hub, see what it will do. Come on and dance along with me. We going to the next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level. 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 Next level with Keith. The next level. The next level. The next level. Next level with Keith.
Welcome to the next level with Keith, where clarity replaces confusion and simple systems lead to real freedom. Every episode begins with intention, music that centers your mind, lifts your spirit, and prepares you for transformation. This is your space for growth, your place to reset, your moment to rise. Rethinking your thinking, because when you shift your mind, you shift your money. Stack and grow, where small, intentional steps turn into lasting wins. Simple strategies, real progress. Your circle, your currency, because your network matters. Mobile money moves, business, income, and empowerment from the device in your pocket. This isn't just talk, it's guidance, it's strategy, it's movement. Welcome to the next level with Keith. Let's begin.
Welcome to the next level with Keith. Welcome to podcast episode 18. Podcast episode 18. I remember I started at 1 and 18 seemed so far away, but look how quickly we're looking at 18. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure what's happening.
That's all right. That's all right. Ah,
Why are you dancing? Can you hear
here we
me?
go.
Can you hear me, Keith?
I can hear you. I can hear the music as
Okay.
well.
There is no music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
You can cut the music all the way out. Yeah, it's still playing. Oh, there we go. There we go. Listen to me. I guess maybe something somewhere or somebody's saying, "Hey, it is time to go to the next level." I guess sometimes when emphasis is placed, whether we think it's a mistake or not, but maybe, just maybe, somebody's saying to you, come on now, let's go to the next level. So maybe you're sleeping, wake up, we're going to the next level. All right. Oh, again, let me say welcome, welcome, welcome to podcast episode 18. Welcome to the next level with Keith. And again, looking at what? Monday night, April the 20, what? You tell me, 27th. And it is really moving rapidly. And I'm glad, I'm happy, I'm thankful because, there's something about waking up in the morning and being able to move your limbs and see and hear and feel, touch and taste and smell. And oftentimes we take these blessings for granted. I take it very serious and I'm extremely grateful, right? I'm also grateful for you who decide to take out your time, which is so important, to join me here on this podcast. And for those of you who have been, I would say, silent watchers or listeners, thank you still, all right? And then I'm like, come on, y'all need to respond and give me some more information, give me some more messages, give me some more responses. But it's okay. Once you get in the benefit from this program, once you utilize the benefit of it, that's all that really matters to me. But it's good to know that you're being affected in a way that's positive because it helps others. The main reason why I ask for your input, your responses, is not for an ego boost, I promise you. It's not that. It's because I want others to see that it's not just some offshore kind of isolated thing here, but there are people who are being affected in a meaningful way. And if that is shared, then it'll at least let others know that they too can be impacted in a meaningful way. That's the idea. All right. So we're going to level up on this journey. We're going to take it to a higher level and we're going to make it happen. There are many different entities out there. And if you find one that you align with, one that speaks to you a unique way, one that works for you, I said go for it and run for it. All right. But if you find that you have alignment here, you see alignment, you see where, you know what, this is refreshing. I needed this right now. And I'm hearing things like the opportunities here where I can not only develop a skill set, I can probably get something that's been hidden in the front, right? I could probably get something that's been buried alive. I can get probably something that's not so well furnished, nicely furnished. I can probably get some exposure. I can probably get some new network partners. It is here. And that's why I'm excited about what we're doing here and the journey that's ahead. And I believe it's going to get more and more and more exciting. Yes. So, again, for those of you who are listening on Amazon Radio, on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you find yourself, thank you. Your, I would say, your participation here is greatly appreciated. And yes, and tonight we have a very interesting topic. And this topic tonight, again, a lot of my topics, they come very almost like out of nowhere, right? I could be in the shower, I could be wake up in the middle of the night and this thing hits me. and that's kind of how I get most of my titles. All right, it comes very spontaneous, almost like unexpected, but when it comes, I try to record it and just try to, I would say, just expound on it and just make it connect, hopefully, with you, the listener, the viewer, and you can pick out what's there, pick out the real juice of it, right? The real meat of it, and enhance your own journey. So tonight we're talking about what? Buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse. Have you had buyer's remorse before? All right. I know I have. All right. And, you know, I recall some years ago, I had a vehicle and had an accident, and the vehicle was totaled. And it was during the summertime, and I needed a vehicle before school started back in that September. All right. Now I'm all the way from New York. All right. And I can't just jump on the train. I need a car. It wasn't a want, it was a need. And I recalled um, meeting a guy who did some towing. The one who towed my car that was totaled. Took his number and we communicated because he say he sells cars and that kind of thing. And I went to see him about the vehicle, and the car that he was selling me had some issues that I didn't know about. All right, but I wanted the car so badly. All I could think about was just the car. I didn't go into faith and God sent me the right vehicle or the right mechanic or the right, car dealer. I just went into I need a car and I need it now. And so, of course, I'm sure you could sense the desperation on my face. I'm sure you felt that desperation that I had. And I guess it's okay, but I think I got me a little guinea pig here. I got me a duck. And so I was the experiment, I guess. But yeah, he just sent me the car, and seemingly it was a good car, but it really wasn't because the car couldn't even pass inspection. All right. It was close to the time when it needed an inspection. And when I went to get it inspected, the car wouldn't pass inspection because what the guy did, there was a part underneath that was he claimed was causing an issue, so he cut it out. Opposed to replacing that piece, he cut the thing out, say the car would run better. And me being a bit ignorant about cars, I didn't know what he was doing and how badly it would affect my pocket. And when time come for me to get the thing past inspection, it cost a fortune. I'm like, wait a minute. And, in New York, you cannot pass inspection unless those things are fixed that they pointed out, that they point out. And so I had to spend all the extra money to get it fixed. So I was like, wow, that was called a buyer's remorse. I mean, I was thankful for the use that I have with the car. I was thankful for that, but I wasn't expecting this in any way, shape, or form. It was like a total blindsided thing. So I'm like, wow. Anyway, I'm sure maybe you've had that experience in your life where you've had buyer's remorse, right? I think you want it so badly. I've heard of stories of people buying houses, and when they buy the house, the land was so contaminated they had to give it up. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, right? The people buy cars that seem so wonderful and so great on the outside, but these cars were flooded in another state, and they were transferred to another state that seemingly all these new cars are coming in, but they're coming in damaged, and folks don't know. Water damage, engine issues. So I'm pretty sure a lot of us have had the experience of buyer's remorse. But to add to this topic, there's a part that makes it hopeful. So we don't land on the buyer's remorse. Only we have buyer's remorse, change course. See how that works? Buyer's remorse, yes, it's a reality. Yes, an experience. Yes, it's awful. It can be awful sometimes. But how about this? Change of course. All right. So, like I said, I'm sure most of us have made decisions before that we said, wow, what did I do that? So don't feel alone here. I think we all share that in common. Okay. So don't feel too bad about it. You have that feeling. And here's the danger, however, right? Because it's one thing to have that experience. All right. But here's the danger that I want to kind of highlight. It doesn't just cost you money, it stops your movement. All right. It doesn't just cost you money, it stops your movement. You see, the real loss is not the bad decision that was made. I mean, that is a loss. That's a reality. And we got to be honest about it. The real loss is what? What happens after. All right. When you stop moving, when you stop believing, when you stop pursuing, when you stop striving or reaching. All right. And so when you have this buyer's remorse, there's what you call it's almost like a silent freeze. You freeze up, all right, and this can impact your future very dramatically, all right. A lot of folks, all they can think of is what happened 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and so it's like a gripping thing, and you hope that they get off that mode because it really stops their potential because the remorse is so painful. The remorse is so hurtful. The loss was so bad that they vowed themselves, I'll never ever experience that again. But when they say that, they're saying, in essence, I won't try again. I won't believe again. I won't make another step. I won't invest again. I won't XYZ and close those doors. And I hope that if you're listening here tonight, you're one of those people. This episode will reignite something inside your soul, maybe a belief that you once had. It will rejuvenate you. It will illuminate you, all right? Inspire you to actually know that, you know what? Maybe it's the reason why I'm hearing this message now. Because I believe that we're in a time right now where a lot of doors have been opening up. A lot of doors are being opened. And I think that once you open your eyes, once you open your eyes, or at least willing to open your eyes and see other avenues, other perspectives, it will not miss you. All right. And the reason why I'm concerned is because it is moving very, very quickly. And so it does require you to also expedite your moves, right? It requires you to actually become very efficient and really don't waste time. I find myself lately, as I look at the phones, and for years I've looked at YouTube as a place where you see many ideas and people and opinions and thoughts, and it's a wealth of information that's there that can be healthy, also can be toxic. And I'm at a point now where I'm thinking, you know what? Hmm, time. Everything I look at now, everything I touch, I'm thinking, what is the value am I getting? What value? All right. And I'm thinking real strategic now and seeing what can I grasp, what can I extract for what I'm seeing, and what should I refuse to give my time to. And believe me, I'm seeing a big difference in everything I do. I'm seeing a big difference in all that I do just by making those small adjustments. And for some people, they're major adjustments. All right. And that's where our thinking, rethinking our thinking comes into play, right? How we now get those things and move forward. Rethink your thinking. How? How do we start? Or where do we start from? All right. Now, the reality is that sometimes what we need is in front of us. All right. And sometimes when it's in front of us, we are told it's in front of us. If I'm having certain emotional problems, all right, I may want to see a counselor, a therapist, all right, to kind of see where I can make the connections and see what might be going on that I may not be aware of, or get more awareness of what might be going on. I may have a spiritual need of such. I may want to go to a pastor, maybe, all right, someone who specializes in that area of ministry. And so the good thing is that when you have a network as such, then you know that's one place you can start. All right. So let me talk to somebody. Let me just book a session. Right. It doesn't have to be a long commitment. It has to be a commitment to do something, and that one thing can lead into so many other things. I can begin to tell you when I made my first decision to see a professional sax player. All right. I knew as a new sax player many, many years ago, I felt like I was stuck. I was at a place of stagnation, right? I felt like I wasn't really growing. I wasn't really seeing the progression that I wanted to. And I say, you know what? I'm going to invest a little bit of money. Didn't have much money then, but I said, I'm going to invest a little bit of moolah and I'm going to find a sax player. And I did. Went downtown a few times. It might have been maybe for maybe 5 or 6 weeks only. But that short time of me meeting that guy, I learned so much. My playing got so much better. The same thing happened with me in drumming. I decided to go to school for a little while, maybe 6 months. Changed my whole drumming, my understanding. The same thing with my vocals, with singing. I decided to go to a vocal trainer. And I'm telling you, it changed so much things that I thought I knew that was wrong approach to singing and techniques. I'm like, wow. So I know the value of making investments. And for me, they weren't long years. I mean, if I had the money, I think I probably would have. But just me stepping out and saying, you know what, let me go check out somebody who is an expert in that area. It was so beneficial. So looking at rethink your thinking. Let's get this to a reality, a place of reality here. Research in behavioral economics shows that people feel the pain of loss twice as strongly as the pleasure of gain. That's interesting. All right. And that's by Kahneman and Tversky. All right. From prospect theory. That's why one bad decision can freeze you for months, even years. Many women right now saying they'll never date anymore, or they'll never date a particular kind of race of men. They'll never date this kind of a person, and vice versa. because of one bad experience. Many people have had so much hurt that is unresolved and trauma that's unresolved that they project that same thing to the new person that they meet and that kind of thing. Buyer's remorse. Get back to the title. I made a decision. It went sour, or it was a bad idea. But a lot of things is not the end. All right. It's all about how we think, or we rethink, or we reshape our thinking, and who we allow to help us to, I would say, unravel. It's like you unravel something to kind of put it back together again. And that's the beauty about us as human beings. We we are we are so capable of so many different things. Rebuilding, restructuring. It's really amazing how we are made. And a lot of us we don't tap into that power that we're being given to adapt, to adjust, to rearrange. All right. So yes, buyer's remorse is a real thing. And the beauty is that uh it doesn't have to leave us crippled. But here's the trap. Here's the trap. Um, there's some things that can cause us to really stay stuck, right? And we don't want to get these things into our space to the point of them dominating us. Okay, overthinking the past, overthinking the past, thinking about the past. It's okay. Reminiscing here and there, right? Remembering and being able to dissect and see where you could have done things differently and build on that. It's a good thing. But overthinking the past, that's one. Also, trying to avoid ever being wrong again. Oh, that's a real big one. You're trying so hard, you're trying so hard to avoid ever being wrong again. That's really a lot of energy you're wasting. All right. And you have the other one, which is waiting for perfect certainty or surety. All right. Those are mistakes. Those are mistakes. And if you want to get inspired, you check out those individuals who talk about their mistakes. Listen, I went to an event this past Saturday, and I think it was titled Black Man Can. Black Man Can. Powerful movement. And I was so inspired to hear the stories I've heard about these men who rose up from, you know, death, seeing their wife giving birth and dying, and starting a whole movement in that. I've seen men who lived in their cars, uh, and while his girlfriend would come and see him 2, 3 hours away, and he's wondering why she's coming to see me and this in this situation, and she's saying to him that she sees something inside of him, she sees greatness inside of him, and how he turned out to be and start this great movement. Men who were men who had this disease where he had no immune system, and he had to get shot every month, like an infuse of immune, because otherwise he would die. And he does it every month for years. And how he how he carries on with his life, and how what he's doing in the meantime. Men who came from nothing, some really tough, hard, brutal experiences. And I'm like, wow, these men, so inspiring. And it just kind of just let me think about, as I speak to the audience, I want you to know that right now, some of you might be watching this or will watch it at some point. You may hear this piece of information here. No matter how bad it gets, no matter how bad your decision seemed or seem, guess what happened? It is not the end. It really is not the end. So you want to do some shifting. All right. We don't want to overthink. All right. We don't want to try to avoid being wrong again. And we don't want to wait for the perfect certainty. That's definitely not. So here's the part where we can do some shifting. Decision comes with 100% certainty. None. Even the most successful people adjust as they go. So again, it sounds maybe oversimplified, but you'd be surprised how many people are stuck because in their mind they're thinking it's not going to work because I tried it 5 times, I tried it 3 times, I tried it 8 times. You know, it's not going to work. But believe me, you want to hear those stories. Sometimes circle, get around people that you are things or are information that talk about people who came from nothing, who came from out of what looked like it was hopeless, and it'll get you inspired. I remember some years ago, my mom told me, God rest her soul, many years ago when I was a young man, she said sometimes you want to really get empathy and get compassion. Sometimes randomly go and visit the sick. Go to a sick establishment where people are sick and walk to that place. And when you walk out, you would have walked out with a new perspective that, you know what? Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's not so bad in my end because you get to see something right there and then. Because a lot of us only go to the doctor when we're sick or when somebody's sick. We don't volunteer to go in these spaces. We don't want to be there. We don't want to experience it. All right. We say, no, 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 no. But sometimes you just go, let's visit. I remember some years ago, I went to a jail to perform and with a lady, and this particular prison, everyone there had 25 years and some more. It was no one was there less than 25 years, as far as my understanding, at that prison. And when I went there was like a whole section of men who were supposedly Christians. They were Christian men. They came from the church, the new church. I'm thinking, all these men, they're here. What got them here? Right? What got them here? And I heard a few other stories. We had PKs, pastors' kids were there. And these men had seemed so joyous. I couldn't believe how they were singing and so excited to see us, given their circumstances. They were behind bars. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I can play my thing and walk out of here as a free man. And these guys are just my age and some a little older, but they're doing 25 years to life, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of those men were thinking, man, what was I doing? You know, I thought I was doing the thing that would probably get me ahead, but here am I being bars. And a lot of those men, surprisingly, were saying, maybe if I wasn't in jail, I might have been dead. I might have been, I wouldn't be alive. A lot of these men were saying that. So, you know, the idea of thinking about us moving forward and us thinking about the past and the future is about how we think, how we get our rethinking aligned in um aligned with thoughts that are freeing, all right? Thoughts that are what I would say liberating, not leaving you at a frozen state, all right? And the goal isn't to always be right, like I said. The goal is to recover quickly and move smarter, all right? So the goal isn't to always be right. The goal is to recover quickly and move smarter. So Of course, all of this right now is still, in my understanding, stacking and growing, stacking and growing.
The next level, the next level, the next level with Keith.
Yes, yes, yes. Stack it up, stack it up, stack it up. So, looking at stack and grow, here's what most people miss, all right? Every decision, good or bad, is building something. I say it again. Every decision, good or bad, is building something. You see, studies show that people who reflect and adapt after mistakes, you know what happened? They improve decision making and what? Accuracy over time by up to 30%. So they improve what? Decision making and accuracy over over time by up to 30%. Amazing. It's amazing they have research for so many different things, right? So many data. So it's out there. So a lot of what happens, folks have dug into it and see, what's going on here. Good decisions, bad decisions, and look what we're seeing. All right. Evidence is also a very important thing. Look at some practical things. All right. We build, we focus. I'm sorry, review. First review, then we focus, then we build. All right. So review first. This is the time when you really just looking at everything, you're really reviewing. It's a very important place because you get to see from a wider lens. All right. And then you refocus. All right. And then you rebuild. So you have a purpose. You don't waste too much time and energy because you have kind of captured what needs to be looked at, what needs to be focused on. All right. So you don't waste time. And then how you rebuild this thing. So review what happened. All right. Take out the emotions. All right. Take out some of those, painful emotions. Just look at the fact of everything. Look at the reality of everything. We focus is two, is we focus on what you learned. We focus on what you learned. And three, we build with a better approach. I know someone right now uh, who started a great, powerful movement, and his name is Ashmafari. And many, many years, for several years, he had this amazing dream. And he would say, I may not be the best businessman, right? But the heart that he has and shown, it was undeniable that he was really after really impacting lives globally. Now, what he was building was new to the world. He had no blueprint to follow to say, well, okay, I'm following this roadmap. It was new, first of its kind. And at some point, when it was time to really get out there to the world, right? Here came some stop gaps. Here came some complications, some unexpected things and people and approaches and attacks. And it kind of thwarted the entire vision. It kind of just slowed things down and really threw things off. It was really a horrible thing to see. And seeing that, one thing that I heard him say that was very important, it says, the dream stays the same. The vehicle may change. How powerful. So my vision has not changed. My heart has not changed. The vehicle is changed. And so I think a lot of times we focus on the vehicle and not the destination, not the goal, because you can get to somewhere different ways. I talk about I think one of my videos on my podcast, I mentioned about Getting somewhere, we can go on a plane, we can go on a horse, we can go on a boat. All right. We can go different ways. And the people will never go on the water. They don't like water. And so they rather take a plane. Some folks rather drive, right? The point is that you have different avenues, yeah, different ways and approaches to get to get to the destination. And that's why when we think about rethinking, it starts there and stacking and understand those little things that you've compiled together, the good, the bad, the ugly, the different, the what went sour, what went sweet, right? What went right, what went wrong, what was time consuming, what was not, what was costly, what was not. Put it all together, sum it up, review, and I'm telling you, you're gonna walk away with a very strong strong sense of direction and understanding. All right. And this will be the anchor you need. All right. For future disappointments, for um future surprises. You would have anchored. But getting back what I was saying with Ash is that he did not allow this to say, you know what, I'm gonna stop. He said, I'm gonna rebuild. I'm gonna redesign. All right. So the beauty about us as human beings, we are capable, even under the worst and most dire circumstances, able to rise from the dust and still move ahead and win. All right. So the idea is not to focus on what didn't happen, what didn't work. Is to focus on what is going to work, and not the feeling of like, I had a loss. Many people have losses in life. And you've seen people, I'll give an example. There are folks who have gone to a doctor for one ailment and they end up maybe could be maybe a doctor's error, lose an eye, went blind in one eye, or lost a leg, lost an arm. All right. They went for A and they came up with B. And I think these people rise above the occasion. They started new we call it movements. They bring about awareness countrywide. Some people do exploits that they never thought would ever be a part of their experience because something happened to their daughter or to their son, to themselves, and they could say, you know what? Why did I have to lose my eye or my leg? Why did I have to use this? Why did I have to lose my son or my daughter? All right. But they take that same experience, the trauma, and they make it into something beautiful. And that's what we ought to be thinking about more so, and knowing that we have life and we can see ahead, we can plan ahead for a better future. I hope you're picking up what I'm dropping down here, okay? Because I'm trying to really just have fun here tonight on this topic, buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse. I've had a couple myself. But yes, so we're looking at, review, we focus, we build. All right. And also, what's so important is in all this process, we're looking at our circle. Who are we around? Who is speaking into our life or into our situation? Who are the ones we are leaning on for support? And
The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith.
yes, and surprise. That was a surprise. But I like that. I like that. The next level with Keith. Yes, so looking at that circle, that is so important. So imperative to how you're going to actually move forward. And if you think about it in a very serious kind of way, let's talk about why people stay stuck. And if you think about it, it's not because they lack answers, but because they limit where answers can come from. I talk about your circle. Sometimes it's in your face and you don't even know it. Because sometimes the person that you think is your way of getting out or moving forward, it may not be your family. It may not be your blood family. It may not be your cousins right away. It may be a total stranger who gets it. Listen, we don't choose our brothers. We don't choose our sisters. We don't choose those things. We inherit these things. All right. And so, although it could be blood related, it could be so different in temperament, desire, style, just you know, your very, we call it the temperament. All right. And sometimes it just clashes. It doesn't flow into your blood brothers. So a lot of times, who you consider your circle can be a big part of what? Part of your the way out. I'll give you a quick story. I realized that my car needed some work on it. All right, especially in the front end. I know it was pretty bad. I wasn't sure how bad it was, but I knew that it needed attention, and so I went to the dealer. Now the dealer really they're a lot more expensive. They really are a lot more expensive. Sometimes I think they're just a bit much. I really do. But it is what it is, right? When they go, they do something called a 3-point inspection. They check everything pretty much, let you know what's up with the vehicle, what you need to work on maybe what's more of a priority. I said, I want to check my car out thoroughly, please, and tell me what are the things that I need to take care of first, or that kind of thing. And when I did that, I realized that there were some issues. And of course, with the economy now, the price went up much higher than I was expecting. I mean, the last time I went to that particular location, the same thing cost a lot less. I'm like, what's going on here? Anyway, I got my list of what I needed from the dealer, and what was needed, a regular mechanic can do it. It's just I mean, that kind of job. It doesn't require anything, no computerized systems, anything technical. Just pretty much you have, equipment. You can just take it off, replace it. It's like brakes. Brakes for some people, it's a basic thing. Go to YouTube and they check it out, and they can do brakes. Not that I would recommend it, but many people I know who have done their own brakes, and pretty much any basic mechanic can change a brake, right? But what needed to be done, if I'd done it at the dealer, would cost me maybe 9 times the cost of what I would pay on my mechanic. See? So in my network, I have about 2 or 3 mechanics that I have the number on speed dial. Also mechanics that drives so they can drive to me if I can't get to them. That's part of my circle. So yes, I went to that network, to that particular spot, the dealer, and got what I needed to be looked at, and I was able to go to the part shops and get the correct parts. And what it cost me was far, far less. My network, my currency. And these are people I can go fix my car, access me. How much does it cost? And I can go and drop and get the funds to pay them. And there's trust there because of what I've developed with these people over the years. That's an example of when I say the currency. Your circle is your currency. So I saved a lot of money just by having the right circle, because hey, it's like you think about making money, you also think about saving money. That's a part of it as well. I have an accountant, and a very good accountant I can call, I can say, you know what? I got this form from the IRS. I'm not sure what it is. I can send it there. That's part of my circle, my currency. I get the best and most important information. No holds bar. I have a digital expert that I work with. All right. That in order to charge me the real price, I probably couldn't afford it. But based on relationship and based on just how things are done as far as her vision and what she want to bring about, that kind of circle is so important and so helpful to my progress. That's a part of my circle. All right. And the list goes on. It goes on and on. But that's just an idea of what I mean when I say your circle is your currency. So this network right here that you're watching can be a part of your circle. You can make it a part of your circle. And that's why we talk about things that you want to look at if you're interested in. You're interested in doing some unearthing, some counseling maybe. Maybe you may have a book that you want to get to the market, editing, graphics. I mean, it's here. All right. Looking at so many different things that you can benefit from through a network that's established. All right. And that's one of the beauties about when you talk about your circle, your currency. Uh, there are two hidden blocks, however, all right, because sometimes you present things to individuals, but sometimes there are blockages sometimes that blocks the individuals or that individual from really benefiting. All right. The information isn't for me, fear of asking question. That's what they say. This information is not for me. All right. When really it is. And the other one is fear of asking questions. Sometimes you'd be surprised of a simple question can break through so many of the fears and so many of the assumptions and prejudices, and just think that you would be surprised is just an answer away. So by saying this information is not for me, you could be cutting off your own progress, your own potential, and fear of asking the questions. Fear of asking questions. That's a big one. And here's evidence of that. Research from MIT, so that's MIT, shows that people who actively seek feedback and ask questions accelerate learning significantly faster than those who don't. Interesting point, right? I always wonder why most of the establishments over here want a feedback. Most of this establishment here want a feedback from the customer because they want to know where they stand, what they can work on, what they can improve on, what's working, what's not working. So a lot of times they get free advice from us, all right? Just to give our opinion. 1 to 5, five being the most, or the being the best. What number would you give it? 1 to 10, you know? All those things, those polls, those things that they're asking for is how they can maximize what they have. Because you, the customer, have a voice. They're saying you're valuable, you're important, your voice counts. That's what they're saying in essence. And that they value your time and your money. All right. And so we see that that's a very interesting point. How research shows that people who actively seek feedback, ask questions, accelerate learning significantly faster than those who don't. On my music profile, each time I go to a particular event, once I'm booked through the platform sends out a feedback request. And that has been one of my biggest blessings because I don't tell these people what to write, or what to say when I perform at the event. I can't do that. They're doing it naturally and voluntarily, saying, "Hey, this guy showed up. If I was late, they would say it. If I was unprepared, they would say it. If I was sloppy, they would definitely say it, right? If I didn't seek to make them happy by doing and going beyond, they would say it. And so my reviews speak for itself. All right. And it's important. So simple moves you can do this week coming up. Some very simple moves you can think of doing is ask one question. Ask one question. Whether it's going to be on this platform or anywhere else or somebody, you can just maybe go to the message and say, you know what is this? Or can I do this within this network or how, whatever. Maybe you just one thing you can ask, and you might be surprised how it benefits you. You can join one conversation, a new one, right? Join one new conversation. One of the ways you can do that as well is that there are hubs on my podcast here. There are hubs that they can join for free, and you can comment on what you see. That's an activity, right? And you get responses for that kind of thing. Learn from one new source, something new, a new source. Maybe you get your stuff from um, Google all the time. Maybe try ChatGPT or some other app. All right, try another search engine and see what happens. Something different. Learn from one new source, like I said, because guess what? Why are we doing this? Because clarity often lives in conversations you haven't had yet. All right. Why are we doing this? Why are we asking one question? Why are we joining one new conversation? Why are we learning from one new source? Because trying these new things sometimes gives you clarity that you've never known before. And guess what happened? Again, clarity lets you make moves. Clarity makes you make better decisions, more confident decisions, which lead me to what? Lead me to mobile money moves. It's the one thing that people work most of their life for is money. And folks sometimes they would curse money, but they need money. You know what I mean? They would say money is not important, but they work so hard for it. Some have two jobs, three jobs, right? They gamble. They're trying so hard to win that big number, right? So they play the lottery every day. I mean, I've seen folks do like five, six different games, scratch off, rub off, you know, pick this, pick that, know, trying to win money because they understand that money makes you move. Money gives you option. But the beauty about the mobile money moves is that we are in a time when we have great technology at our fingertips. All right, that phone that we have in our hands, I tell you, it can do wonders. It can be destructive and it may become unproductive, but at the same time, that phone can do wonders. All right. Now let's get practical. All right. Because guess what happened? You don't need to start over. You don't need to start over. That's not the point here. Levels of what, 40, 50, 60s, 60s, 40s, 50s, 60s. We're not trying to start over, really. We're trying to what? Be smarter. Let's start smarter. Let's make those changes, those small changes, right? You got a phone, right? You got a phone? Use a phone like this. Learn a skill, you know, content communication. It could be in digital or sales. All right. Learn a skill. Highly recommended, right? Two, create something. It could be a post, it could be an offer, it could be a service. Sometimes Offering a service could mean joining force with someone, maybe in some affiliate kind of way, where you're not directly doing that selling, but you're partnering and making it happen. So a lot of times when it comes to these things, it's about partnering and leveraging. All right. A lot of folks think that I have to do all on my own. I have to build everything from scratch. No, it's about partnering because their folks are already gone on. They've already made. I'm sorry, they have already laid the foundation, the groundwork. You have to know how to just connect with that, align with that, and make it work. Let's look at this reality check right here. Very interesting numbers. Over 85% of adults have smartphones. That's a lot of people. But a small percentage use them to generate income. Think about that. Over 85% of adults have smartphones, but a small percentage use them to generate income. When you hear smartphones, it's a reason why they call it smartphones, right? You can do a lot with those things in the palm of your hands. I'm telling you. And one of the ways is that you can get on a network, get on a Zoom call, maybe get on some kind of video conferencing call, some way of reaching out, asking questions, seeing people, all right, interacting with individuals. It opens up a doorway for you to really see that, you know what, there's potential and you can do bigger and better things once you start. So what? Stop using your smartphone only for to consume, but start using it to create and earn, right? Very important. And that takes us down to what? Taking action. Taking action. So important. If you are in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, this part really, really, really matters. I'm telling you, it really matters. At this point in our lives, time is very different. Time feels very, very different. And hesitation carries a high cost. It really does. We don't have time. All right. And so, with that said, here is a comeback strategy. Here's a tip you can use to kind of get things restart or rekindled or just kind of just rechanneled, or realigned. You don't fix regret by thinking about it. You fix it by building something new. Do you know what's new right now? In case you didn't know, this platform contains some new things that you want to explore. All right. My hubs contain some new things that you want to explore. Period. All right. So here's the bounce back rule. Here's the bounce back trick, as they would say. Within 72 hours of a bad decision, learn one thing, take one action, start one new direction. Action restores confidence faster than time. That's deep. And so this is where you're going to take some actions now. Some something that I think is very important. It's a 5-day challenge, right? Very important for you to consider these things the next 5 days. Day one, write down one regret. Be honest about it. Write down one regret and be honest about it. Day two, list 3 lessons from it. List 3 things you learned from that regret. Day three, identify one new opportunity. Just one. Identify one new opportunity. Day four, take one small action. Day five, share or reflect what changed. All right, so day one, write down one regret, be honest about it. Day two, list three reasons. I'm sorry, list three lessons from it. Day three, identify one new opportunity. Day four, take one small action. Day five, share or reflect what changed. All right. And you can share your progress in the comments or blog. You can share it so others can benefit from what you have done and how you have reconstructed your approach, your decisions moving forward. And this time, we're going to have moments for partners. We're going to have moments for partners.
This moment is for builders, visionaries, and brands with purpose. If you want access, alignment, and momentum, not just motivation, this is your step forward. Join the next level with Keith channel members. Whether you're a freedom chaser, freedom supporter, next level insider, or next level builder, this is where growth gets structure and community becomes currency. And for partners with a mission, we don't just promote brands. We position purpose. Bring your cause, your company, your message, and let's amplify it with intention and impact. Membership opens the door.
Mount Vernon, it's time. Stand behind leadership that puts literacy, integrity, and community first. Support Apostle Dr. Faith A. Walters for Library Trustee, a proven leader building stronger minds and brighter futures. Vote May 19, 2026. Learn more at wamo.org/faith for library trustee. Join us in supporting a leader who prioritizes literacy and integrity. Dr. Faith A. Walters has a vision for our libraries. Every vote counts. Together we can make a difference.
Stop guessing. Start managing your people with confidence. If your business is growing, but your HR systems aren't, you're already feeling it. Miscommunication, burnout, turnover, and costly mistakes. The HR Resource Toolkit at sandrinedunkley.com/toolkit is your solution. This toolkit gives you practical HR tools you can use immediately. No fluff, no confusion, just structured, actionable support. Whether you're overwhelmed, under-resourced, or ready to level up, this is where you start. Access the toolkit now. sandrinedunkley.com/toolkit. HIDC, where structure meets strategy. People meet performance.
Yes, yes. If this message is helping you to move forward, support the work that's being done. All right. I think it's a cool thing to do because you're supporting what? You're supporting growth and access to real opportunities. So definitely recommend you just checking these out and see how you can benefit from these things. All right. So here we are at my final thoughts on this episode 18 here. Final thoughts is to turn the signal. All right. Let me leave you with this. Some of the most successful people you know built their success on decisions that didn't work, at least at first. And I've shared some of those on my podcast about some of those folks who failed miserably and how that turned out to be a major success. And the story's going on and on and on and on and on. Many even inventions came about because of a mistake and turned out to be multi-billion-dollar stuff or things. Buyer's remorse is not failure, it's feedback. The question is, will you sit on regret or will you change course? Because you know why? Your next move matters more than the last one. It's really your time. And again, Thank you for taking the time out to be here on the next level with Keith. And please keep the comments coming. I've seen some of you commenting. It's really, really cool. I hope that if you're landing at age 40, 50, 60s, you're now making those moves, or if you haven't done so yet already, that you're making those moves to fortify your portfolio, diversify your portfolio, maybe enhance something that needs to be enhanced, start something new, and know that you have a network here that's ready to help you unearth your potential and bring out what you have to the world. Again, thank you. This is Next Level with Keith. I appreciate you. Thank you, engineers, producers, those behind the scenes that making it happen here every week. God bless you. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. And you, the viewers out there, thank you. Keep it coming, because if you keep it coming, I'm gonna keep it coming. God bless. Take care, and see you on my next podcast.
If today's episode spoke to you, it's because you're ready. Ready for your money to work for you. Ready for practical steps, not just motivation. Ready for faith-led financial freedom. Ready to build stability, peace, and confidence for your family. You're not alone on this journey. The Next Level isn't just a podcast. It's a movement toward freedom, one episode at a time. Stay connected. Listen anytime at podcast.keithmerritt.com. Explore the Next Level Movement Hub. Subscribe on YouTube at Keith Merritt. Like, share, comment. Your engagement helps this message reach more families. Take your next step. Visit keithmerritt.com/impact/the next level. Subscribe for the latest blog from the Freedom Resource Hub. And join the Next Level Resource Network. Choose the hub that fits your journey. Music and speaking, family protection, digital learning, passive income, or Keith's book and reading hub. Press play. Take action. Your next level is calling.